And literally, I'm in the same spot as well. Welcome back to another video, once again. So on this one, we are doing suspension-y shit.
Yeah, we'll put the top mount and everything back on the other suspension.
Yep.
You've got some video footage that you'll probably insert roughly now.
Yep.
Of taking the bits and pieces off. So yeah, put that back on. Get the arch liner back on, which is just a little bit of leftover job from the interior.
Yep.
And then it's new discs and pads. Clean up the calipers, make them look a bit fresh for them. And then, unfortunately, because I'm running out of time with how long I've got this garage left.
Another update to come with that.
Yeah. It'll be going off back to the owner, and he can take it to a auto electrician to look at the not starting issue.
Yeah, so with that, we reckon it's possibly a dead ECU.
A dead ECU, or doing further investigation. Could be something to do with the ignition barrel. Right.
So, could be a big job, could not, but I hate electric, so it's not my speciality, and, well, like Graham said, he's on pretty much borrowed time now. But we'll release an update video on that. We've already agreed to do that. So, I'm going to spin the camera around. We're going to jump on with this and get this knocked out. Right, so now we've buttoned up the little bit, all we had to do was seam sealer and the arch liner. We're now working on the front coilover. So all we need for this is a new top mount, which Graham's just pulling out now.
Ta-da!
That looks completely different to that.
It does, but this bit is the same.
Yeah.
As you can see, this bit's sharp up, rise, and this one's worn out now.
Oh, right, okay.
So, luckily, because he rides it so low, we don't need spring compressors.
So I'm not going to get nutted or anything?
No.
Bloody hope not. There we go. Okay, I'm safe. I need one of them badges on like Facebook, Mark Dean from Safe from a coilover, or whatever.
So the bearing itself isn't too bad.
You can usually hear them, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, if I put that, it's got a little bit. And
yeah.
When you compare it to a.
That is silent.
Yeah.
That rustling was Graham's glove, by the way. The actual bearing itself is silent.
So then it sits on and.
Done.
Yeah, easy as that. When you've.
That was a lot easier than doing it on standard suspension.
Mainly just because where he's running it solo, you've got no tension on the spring when it's fully unwound. They're dirty. So yeah, it just goes on, no issue, and wind the nut down. Sometimes you might find that the shaft of your shock starts to spin.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then you have to get like a swan nick spanner or a box.
Oh yeah, to go in
spanner, so that you can put the nut on and have an Allen key holding that steel inside.
Yeah.
But luckily, I was able just to use a 21mm deep socket, which happens to be same size as large spark plugs. So if you're struggling to find a socket for the nut, 21mm or the large spark plug, take the rubber out of it, and it'll go on.
Nice.
On these. Where did I put the nut? We'll show YouTube life there.
There we go. That'll be the thing resting on top of the old top mount.
That's behind the scenes, that is. When the people go, and it's done.
Yeah. So here we go. Wind that back down.
Done.
And then that literally just goes back up in that hole. I'm guessing this is very simple as well, because it's old technology.
Yeah, they are quite simple. When they went to Mark IV Golfs, I even think the Mark III is still like this. But when they went to the Mark IV, the hub had a hole that the shock would slide down into.
Oh yeah, because my Leon has it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or had it.
Yes.
I remember that. And I think you showed it on the Toledo too.
I did, yes. So
yeah. But this is good old traditional, over the hub and done sort of thing.
Yeah. Easy.
So we'll get that buttoned up, and then the next job is to, I'm guessing, raise the subframe, secure all that back down, yeah?
Yep.
So
Subframe all back together.
So hopefully that should be quite easy. Right, so that's that pretty much all bolted in. It's 19s either side, assuming you're still on the OE bolts.
19's there, 22
through the top,
and a 21 that holds all of the bit together.
Yeah.
It might be a bit different on OEM's original stuff. You might have a different size nut, but on the top, but the ones going through the bottom are definitely 19s.
Yeah. So there we go. That's how it all bolted up. And like I said, we're going to move on to the subframe. We've got new anti-roll bar bushes to put in, which sit just back in that little hole there. So we're going to chuck that all in, feed an anti-roll bar through, which is something I've never done before. Where is the anti-roll bar? This side
It's
or?
half hanging in there already.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just pretty much relocate it and it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we've got to do next, and yeah. Right, so I'm just going to do a quick update on this side. This side is not done yet, but the anti-roll bar here needs to sit above the wishbone, and then back there, I don't know if you can see, but the bush is waiting to go in. I mean, I can't put the bush between the subframe and the anti-roll bar, or the body of the car or whatever. I can't put it in the hole. And I don't want to do it wrong, so I'm not going to take that bit any further, but it's all on and in position, and I'm guessing this side's been done.
Yeah, just got to put the bolt in once.
So, where are we looking? Oh Christ, everything's reversed on this side. There we are. So, I don't know if you can see, but that's what you're sort of working with there. So yeah, Graham's just going to do the same on the other side, and then that is the anti-roll bar practically bolted back in. Right, so we're having a bit of trouble with this one. So basically that little flicked up a bit there, that gets put in facing towards the front of the car, and then you have to flick it over to the back because it's the top of it, which you can't really see, sits in a groove. So we've just done that, but it's still not quite quite sitting right. So we're just going to put it into position, hopefully, and yeah, that should be done. But that's where we're at so far. Right, so we're now putting the rather small drop link back on, which is out there. It's just sat there loosely for the sake. We haven't actually secured it down. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. Just putting this drop link back on. Graham's doing the other side and making sure this side don't fall back out. But there's that anti-roll bar bush sat up in there now, which is nice and secure.
Just need to put the bolt through.
Yeah, just need to put the bolt through. But yeah, we are making slow progress, which is rather annoying, but progress nevertheless. Right, I know I haven't filmed for a little while, and I know I haven't filmed very much this episode, but we are practically done for tonight. As you can tell, it's getting dark, the weather's crap, and I still haven't eaten, and it's like 9 o'clock at night now. But yeah, the subframe's back on, anti-roll bar's back in, all that sort of stuff. Pretty much all that's left to do now is the brakes. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night and I'm going to leave it here. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and there may possibly be one more video out of this car. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, so like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one.
Okay, so next day, obviously Zach's not here today, but today it'll be a case of put the discs on the calipers, etc. Now, you probably noticed that that's a bit cleaner than it was before. That's just because we've given it a coat of paint, mainly just to protect it. But otherwise, nothing extra has happened in here. Yeah, that's where we stand with this. Get the discs on, get the calipers on, pads on, bolt all the calipers up properly, because that's just sitting there, so it was easier to paint. And then, yeah, go from there. Okay, so got the caliper just sitting here. I've pushed the piston back already. On the front ones you can just use a G-clamp. On the rear you need to twist it at the same time, but what I'm showing you here is these slider holes, I suppose. You can get some new hardware for this, which is definitely worth it, which is just a new hollow pin and a new rubber grommet. When you get the old one out, you just give it a tap, it should come out. If it don't, then you might have a few more issues getting it out. But once you get it out, give this hole just a little bit of a clean up, and you're going to want to put a little bit of grease just on this bit of rubber just to make it slide in and out easier. Obviously you get some new bolts with the new hardware, and it was cheap. It was maybe I think it was £12 each side, so 25-30 quid with postage. Worth it in my opinion. Just get the bits done, makes life easier, especially with new stuff all going on. And there we go, discs and pads all on. I think the caliper finishes off the area quite nicely. Should look pretty good behind the wheel. Let's get it on and have a look. Okay, so the wheel is on. You can't really see them too much, but if I just give it a little spin, just see it looks quite nice there. Now, before anyone goes on about the direction of the rotors, they are straight vents in between the pair of them, so you can put them on either direction, which I think we covered when we done the RS4 brakes. If you haven't seen that video, go and have a check out on that one. But that goes round and round okay. So get on with the other side, and then get on with the rears, and yeah, that'll hopefully be it. Okay, we're at the back of the car now. Going to put the new pads in the back here. We haven't changed the discs on these because the wheel bearing is part of the disc, so if you change the discs, ideally you need to change the wheel bearing as well. These discs, they're not too bad. They haven't got a lip on them as such. They've just got a bit of corrosion where they've sat still for a while, but they're not too bad. Still serviceable. So just a nice new set of pads on the back here. So gave it all a little bit of a paint up at the back here as well. Need to get the rewind tool out so that we can push the piston back in on these. Yeah, and then put the pads in, and happy days. So there we go, one set of pads changed on the back. It's quite simple really. There's just this bolt here. You have to hold the pin to stop it from all sliding, all spinning around, then you won't be able to undo it, but that's that. Another one down the bottom there, you just move the caliper off. Sometimes you might not get enough movement with hoses and handbrake cable. If you don't get the movement, then you might need to look at releasing some stuff so that you can get a bit more movement, or you might even have to end up, unfortunately, undoing brake lines and things, which aren't exactly the nicest things in the world to do, but that's how it is. So yep, that's that side. Get the wheel on, get the other side on, put it down on the floor, and get it out the garage. So there we go, that's that side all done. Pretty much the same as the other side. Nothing drastic to tell you about on these, so quite a simple standard sort of change really. Yeah, nothing too drastic to tell you about on this. So just got to put the little holder for the brake hose back on here. I don't know if you can see that there. Just clips on just here onto the shock. Other than that, this side is done. Bolt up, job's a good one. So there we have it, back on all its wheels now, pushed out of the garage. Anyone want a tractor? Pushed out the garage, ready to go back onto the trailer to go to an auto electrician for the starting issue. Unfortunately, I haven't got time to deeply look into that, and I am no auto electrician myself, so it's probably better in the long run that it goes to someone that's got electrical knowledge. So there we go. That's all I can tell you about this car for now. Once he gets it running, I'm sure we'll get it back for a drive so that you guys can hear and see the final out of it. We won't forget about it, but that's it for now.